So guys, just before the video begins, please keep in mind I recorded this video like 2 or 3 weeks ago and I didn't really know about this beef, so I still wanted to drop this video and y'all just focus on the sample and the beat. Just don't keep in mind that I said Drake in future. So yeah, as I said, focus on the sample because I really like the sample and I still wanted to drop this video for y'all because there's a lot of sauce in here. So y'all make sure to watch till the end and now enjoy this video. So if you want to know how to make crazy and unique dark beats and samples from scratch in the style of Future and Drake, this is the perfect video for you. Yo guys, what's up and welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make crazy and unique dark beats from scratch in the style of Future and Drake. So first of all, since y'all have already heard the beat and the sample, I will show you every single sound I used to make this type of sample. And then while showing you all these patterns and audio files, I will show you how I mix them. So let's say I show y'all the piano, I will show the mixing chain right after. So y'all make sure to keep watching and make sure to keep watching till the end. It's really important for this type of video. And then while showing you all these patterns and like different sounds and instruments, I will show you how I mix these individual sounds. So y'all make sure to stay till the end, I would really appreciate that. And then after showing y'all how I mix these individual sounds, I will show you my mastering chain. And after that, for the last thing, I will show you how I made the beat to it. And the beat is crazy in my opinion. I really like the beat. So yeah, make sure to stay watching till the end, I would really appreciate that. Make sure to leave a like and to subscribe to the channel. And if you want to see a specific type of video, make sure to leave a comment right now. And if you haven't already, make sure to check out my newest ARCANE kit. The link is in the description. It has 440 sounds for like everything. It has a drum kit, it has phrases, it has accents, it has percussion loops, textures, and many more stuff. So I'll make sure to get that with the code CONTACT30. And this code is just there because of my last video, because I just dropped the top 20 contact banks video. Y'all make sure to watch it after this video. It has already 3.1k views and almost 300 likes after 3 days. Y'all been going crazy on this one. I really appreciate this type of support and I don't want to keep the intro too long. So yeah, let's go guys. So for the first thing, I use Contact and I used the Noir Pure Bank with the in concept preset, as you can see right here. I didn't tweak anything, but I just like changed the preset. Then I laid down this pretty simple and repetitive pattern. As you can see, it's like basically I laid down this right here and then just added like the bottom notes and then like obviously the bass notes, and I had this simple top line which is pretty repetitive. It's basically this right here, just copied over, but I just did this so the notes get switched up, and added this D and E as well. And that's basically all I did for the piano. I randomized the velocities, which you can do with Alt and R, and I strummed it, as you can see right here, which you can do with Alt and S. And that's all I did for the piano, and the finished piano is sounding like this. Then for effects on this piano, I had this EQ just to like clean up the frequencies a little bit more and like to remove the harshness of the piano. Then this Abbey Road Vinyl Stereo with these settings. This RC20 just for the distortion, the magnetic, and the EQ and the tone. This Valhalla Vintage Verb where I tweaked the mix to 30%, the decay to 0.82 seconds, the pre-delay to 5.65, and the low cut to 480 Hz. Then this Simple Soothe on its default settings, I just turned this from soft to hard. This EQ just to clean up the piano a little bit more. And then this EQ just to duck some of the lows, like remove the lows, but duck some of the low mids and duck some of the highs, just to make it sound a little bit more vintage and to give it like a little bit more of a dark feeling. And I added 19% in stereo. And by the way, this sample has 3 parts, which you can see right here. This is the first part, this is the second one, and this is the third part. So make sure to watch till the end. So then for the next thing, I have this down texture, which as you can see right here is out of my ARCANE kit. And all I did was time stretch it, put the declicker mode to generic, load the volume, put it on the 17th mixer track, which is pretty much empty. And this is how the texture sounds like. It's basically just there to give like the sample, as it says, more texture and more of like a full feeling, I guess. And what is there to make the sample more full as well is this executioner percussion loop, which is out of the kit as well, which is right here, as you can see. And I just dragged it in. It's automatically time stretch if I'm not mistaken. I put the mode to stretch though, put it on the 16th mixer track, and there is this EQ just to obviously duck some of the frequencies. Then this EQ to remove them completely, just to like get it into the background. This Simple Soothe on its hard setting and the depth to 4.9. And this Simple Reverb with these settings, I think it's the default settings, so I just turned the mix to 35%, and the percussion loop and the texture together are sounding like this. So then for the vocals, I use this simple vocal phrase from Splice. I pitch it up by 5 to bring it into the key, put the mode to stretch, the declicker mode to generic, I load the volume a bit, and then as you can see right here, I basically copied it and I pitch it down by 12, load the volume a little bit more just to give it like more of a full feeling again, or like just to make it sound more full. And as you can see, I just faded it in and faded it out, and the finished vocal is sounding like this. And for the effects on these vocals, I have this for the delay 2 with these settings, this for the reverb with these settings. I basically just tweak the decay and lowered the wet a little bit, I think. Then this simple soothe on its default settings, I turned the depth to 5.0 and this thing from soft to hard. Then this simple EQ where I just cut out some frequencies that were like too harsh or not necessary for the sample. And this EQ where I cut out some of the lows and low mids and ducked one mid frequency, and I cut out some of the highs just to duck it a little bit more into the background, and added 25% in stereo. Then for the next thing, I have this electric guitar right here, which is from Splice again, and I pitch it down by 1 just to bring it into the key. I pitch it up by 12 afterwards, so basically 1 whole octave higher. I put the volume to about half, put the mode to stretch, and put it on the third mixer track, and this mixing chain is really simple. I basically just have this EQ on there, this simple soothe on its hard setting and the depth to 5.9, and this EQ where I cut out some of the lows and basically like duck a little bit of the highs, and I added 25% in stereo, and the finished electric guitar is sounding like this. And then for the next thing, I went to my Arcane kit again, and as you can see, I picked this TikTok accent right here, which is just the name, and it's automatically time stretched. So I just put the mode to stretch, put the declicker mode to generic, load the volume by a bit, put it on the 4th mixer track where it's just this simple low cut. So I would highly recommend y'all getting this kit. It's really nice for almost every type of sample, and that's really all I did for this TikTok accent. You don't have to do anything, they are already processed and ready to just like drag and drop into your DAW. But that's not the point of this video. I just want to show y'all how I made this crazy sample, and the TikTok accent is sounding like this. Then before I show you my mastering chain, which you have to see if you're new here, I had this LA Custom C7 hard piano, which is out of Omnisphere, basically out of Keyscape, so out of the Keyscape library. And all I did was just basically picking the root notes from the piano, from the main piano, and just pasting it in here, but lowering it I think 2 octaves, so it's like really low, but it really does its job. So that's the bass line. I didn't change anything, I didn't even randomize the velocities, and the finished bass line is sounding like this. And for the effects on this bassline, I have this simple soothe on its hard setting and the depth to 9.1. This arc compressor with these settings. This decapitator on its default settings, I just turned the drive to 2.5, the tone a little bit more to dark, and the style to E. Then this simple EQ where I basically just cut out some of the muddy lows, and I had it 100% in mono. And now for my mastering chain, I have this Abbey Road vinyl stereo with this preset right here, which I can't pronounce. I just turned down the noise, the crackle, and the clicks. This RC20 for the noise, the wobble, the distortion, the magnetic, and the EQ. But I have like this follow option on, so if it's not playing, as you can hear, you don't have any noise. And by the way, it's the Luca Could Be a Pet preset out of my Exoplanet kit, which you can see right here. Then this L1 limiter stereo with these settings. This sound shifter pitch stereo from Waves where I pitch it down by 2. Then this hyper chorus where I had it on its default settings if I'm not mistaken, but I just turned the mix to 8% wet, so basically 92% dry. Then this simple EQ where I just ducked some of the lower frequencies, and then this simple soothe on its default settings just to clean up the sample a little bit. And now we'll show you all the sample with and without the mastering chain. So first of all, this is the sample without the mastering chain. And now this is the sample with the mastering chain. And And now for the beat breakdown, the first thing I did was obviously dragging in the sample, and I pitched it up by 2, put the mode to stretch, the declicker mode to generic, and the trim. Then the first thing I did was picking this boat hi-hat out of the ARCANE kit as well. So just that you know, all the drum sounds I used are from my ARCANE kit, so you can get a hang of what they sound like and if you really can use them. And I went to the hi-hat midis and picked one of them, and this is how the hi-hat pattern looks like, and it sounds like this. Then for the next thing, I just had this simple holding snare, which sounds like this. Then this ATL Jacob snare, where I had some like very simple notes, and then like for the second part some rolls, and the pattern sounds like this. Then this simple open hat pattern, which basically layers the 808s and the kicks just to make them like hit even harder. And that's basically all I did. I just laid down this pretty simple pattern, and it sounds like this. And then for the last two things, I have this kick pattern right here, which looks pretty complex, but it's really not. And this simple wheezy spins, which is one of my favorite 808s at the moment, because it's like just a really cool 808. And yeah, I laid down this pretty simple pattern, and I played with this envelope right here. Basically that the kick can have more space to hit better, and it sounds just nicer and not that muddy. And the 808 pattern with the kick and everything else, so basically the finished beat is sounding like this. So yeah guys, if you all enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and to subscribe to the channel. It would really help me, and it would really mean a lot. And if you have some future video suggestions or like future video ideas, make sure to leave them in the comments. I would really appreciate that. And if you haven't already, make sure to check out Lucaland, my kit store, and the ARCANE kit with 440 sounds. I just showed y'all a lot of these sounds, and you can see that they're really good, and I'm really proud of this kit. So yeah, make sure to get that. The link is in the description, and use code CONTACT30 for 30% off. I'd really appreciate that. And I don't want to keep the outro too long. Make sure to watch the latest video, which is the top 20 contact banks video. And with that being said, thank you all so much for this crazy support on the last few weeks, and make sure to leave a like, subscribe, to comment, and to check out Lucaland. And yeah guys, see y'all.